Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the importance of diversity and why being good enough at one thing might not be enough anymore. It used to be that you could get really good at one thing and you could market yourself as that, and you would be known for that and get called for that. But anymore, people are diversifying their skill sets and are becoming professionals in many different fields, or at least a wide range of skills within a field. For example, a saxophonist might diversify and learn more of the woodwind family, might learn how to write music, might learn how to record and engineer. That's what I do. I'm a saxophonist. I play the flutes, I play clarinets, I even play double reeds. I've done work on musical theater in pit orchestras, and I've played in regular orchestras. If I had separated any one part of my skill set and just isolated that, I think that I would not have been able to pay the bills. It's important to have a wide range of skills so that when somebody calls, you have a greater chance of being able to do the gig. The more skills you have, the more hireable you are. I've also done work as an arranger. I've written several arrangements on commission for something like the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra. I did a couple charts for them in their concert series. And I've done some arrangements. I've done some arrangements for private people, for the private sector. And having these skills is very important because you can make money that way. And while money is not the main objective with a lot of musicians, enjoyment really is. Money pays the bills. So I am an advocate for learning as much as you can about your craft and everything associated with your craft. My journey through music has incorporated learning about recording, about mixing, engineering, producing, all sorts of things. When I was in college, I studied not only saxophone performance but jazz composition, and that helped me learn about other instruments like trumpet and trombone, writing for rhythm section, and now I play just about or I've had my hands on just about every instrument, and it's about learning what that instrument feels like, what the mindset of that musician might be like. So the more you can do to understand what goes on around you, the better you are going to be able to actually do your job to the fullest. For example, even if you isolate all of your work to just jazz, and let's say, okay, I'm a jazz saxophonist. If I learn how to play a little bit of bass, and I learn how to play a little bit of piano, and I learn how to play a little bit of drums, I can better understand what kind of communications the drummer is trying to send me. I can better understand what the bass player might be trying to do, or what he might be thinking about, so that I know how to better communicate with him. The more you know about the musicians around you and what they might be thinking, the better you're going to be able to do your job as a musician. So that applies not only to other instruments, but it also applies to industry professions such as producer, recording engineer, so on and so forth. You have all these people who do jobs around you, and the music itself isn't the only thing that goes on. The music is the attraction, but there's the person who. What about the person who presses the record? What about the person who cleans the floor at the studio for you to come in and have a good time before you record your album? What about the promoter? Now, a lot of these things are not as common anymore because record budgets are very low. A lot of people do this stuff themselves, but in this day and age, you have to be well versed in everything to make some semblance of a career. I've gotten gigs playing German polka music. Now, I did not go to college and learn how to play German polka music, but being willing to say yes and learn something new really helps a lot, because it might even be a conversation starter with somebody else. You know, you meet another clarinet player and say, "Oh, I played German polka clarinet. You played some gigs. Do you want to join our band? We'll have 2 clarinets." So that's how you get work. And let's see. I've gotten some work organizing mouthpieces. I've gotten work organizing music for people. You know, especially when you're first starting out, there is no work that is too low, you know, unless it's demeaning. If you get an opportunity to spend some time with somebody whom you admire in order to help them organize their life, and you have an opportunity to learn from them as you're doing that, then I think that kind of experience is priceless. Because it's not necessarily about the money in some ways. You want to hear the stories. You want to hear the reason that people are doing what they do. More often than not, these historical things, the meaning of music, the importance of what we do gets lost from generation to generation, and it's really hard to maintain an awareness of what came before, especially with the climate changing the way it is, in that everything is becoming web-based. There is less and less interaction with other musicians, especially during this lockdown period. Live music is a rarity, and live music is where our craft is learned. So, you know, this is kind of a long-winded way of saying learn more than you maybe feel comfortable learning. It's always good to know more and need less than to know less and need more. Now, you'll probably find yourself in the latter situation all the time, but if you have an attitude of learning versus turning away new opportunities, I think you will stand better in your career, and you will, if you take that mindset and carry it forward, it will lead to a lot of really interesting endeavors. So, if you like this or have enjoyed any of my other content, please leave a comment below and tell me your thoughts, or give me some ideas of some other topics I could talk about. I swear I will start recording some saxophone and showing some cool stuff on the instrument. A few topics that I'm going to discuss moving forward are tone, improvisation, learning vocabulary, things like that. I know that's a big part of what this jazz community wants to learn about, but I think that a lot of what's not talked about is the mindset, is the approach, the meaning behind what we do, and the less tangible side of it. And I think it's very important to talk about that too. So that's why I put so much weight and emphasis on these talks. It's because I never felt like a lot of people talked about this kind of stuff. I just felt like I had to teach myself it, and everybody was talking about the vocabulary, the licks, the how to play burn, and all that stuff, but nobody was really talking about mindset, maybe I wasn't hanging out with the right people. But either way, finding your way towards this path and understanding the underlying fundamentals of music, what it means, and how it relates to your life, I think that's the most important part. So please like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate you, and I look forward to talking in my next video. I will see you tomorrow.